DJ Khaled, we the best season as return.
Cause I'm out here grinding.
I do this for the streets, the runners.
Cause I'm out here grinding. I don't care what nobody say. I'ma be me. Stay hood, stay raised in the streets.
Welcome everybody into the Brad Boyd Podcast. This your main man, Brad Boyd. We here chilling at my main man, Kyle Carraghe's house, man, my co-host of the Brad Boyd Podcast. Kyle, say what's up to the fellas.
What's up, everybody, man? I'm just excited to be on this podcast, be a co-host with my man, Brad Boyd. I think we're going to have a lot of good things in store for y'all, man.
Yep. So, man, what time are we at? We're in March Madness, man, the hottest time to drop a podcast talking about basketball, man. We said we're going to break down all levels of basketball, but right now it's about March Madness. It's about, the field of 64. What is it now? The field of 68, 72?
With the first four in now.
I mean, next thing you know, we're going to be having a split in the NCAA tournament, man.
You know how that's going in Louisiana right now.
Lord have mercy, yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about all that, man. Talk about good top 28 action. Did you go to the top 28 this year, Kyle? Check any teams out?
Man, I just went to one game. I went and watched the STM De La Salle game. That was it.
Yes, I'm boycotting the top 28 till they move it back to the Cajun Dome, brand new $20-25 million renovated facility. I mean, till they move it back to Lafayette, I don't think I'm going to the top 28. I might not go to the top 28 unless I make it to the top 28 coaching.
I was about to say, you ain't going unless Opelousas in that thing.
If Opelousas is gone, yeah, I'm gonna have to be there, Now,
I remember March Madness. I don't know about you, Brad, but I know for me, man, being in school, that was like the 2 days I was always sick. Was the Thursday and Friday of the first round, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Matter of fact, back in 2000, we checked out of school, a group of about 30 of us. I can't remember if it was Adam Andrews or Sean Pond or somebody had an apartment that their mom or dad was living in, and we got to go there during school, and UL had made it to March Madness. They were playing Tennessee, checked out of school early, went watch them play, and seeing UL play, and knowing Blaine Harmons and Orlando Butlers, Lonnie Thomas, Reggie DeGray, Brett Smith, all those guys were coming back the next year. That really kind of solidified why I wanted to go to UL. Seeing them play and knowing that we're gonna have a good team coming back, and sure enough, went into UL and had a great career. But man, it all brings together March Madness. If you played in March Madness, it's the most exciting time as a player, to do that, and it just as fans too to watch March Madness, the upsets, everything like that. It's just a great time for basketball.
Yeah, I think you're right. Not only for the players at the time that can make that special moment. Some of them might only play in that one game. They might be the 16 seed, but I mean the recruitment tool that these schools can use by being on that platform is unbelievable, man.
Oh yeah, all you gotta say is what have you done for me lately? We went to the big dance last year.
We were dancing.
Come play for us, Hopefully we get to say that again about UL in the near future. They got they're supposed to have a good team next year. Got some highly praised guys sitting out this year that are supposed to spark the team next year. So hopefully we'll have a little bit better season this year and maybe go dancing, man. Got to see the Cajun dancing again soon, So look, let's jump into it. We're gonna start talking about the tournament, the field of what we say it was, field of 64, 68.
It's a 64,
72.
but it's 68, something, this, that.
A couple extra teams getting some loves. I don't understand it when you're ranking teams. Now you're gonna have 2 16s and 2 11s and 2 4s or 5s or whatever it is. We talked about what did he say? Kyle said, "Man, I'd like to coach with you." And I never told you this personally, but I'm gonna tell you now. No other better place to break this
Breaking
moment
it
right
live,
here.
baby. I don't even know what he's about to say.
Yeah, he doesn't know what I'm about to say, but he's gonna enjoy it, and it's the truth. When he asked me to be a part of come help us coach, it was no thought in my mind that does Kyle know what he's doing coaching wise? Does he, know how to coach? What was already in my mind is that I've seen him relate to kids coaching at Southern Elite, if I'm not mistaken, when he started that little program a couple years ago. And I'm saying little program because my guy I just got off the phone with called out my podcast, a little podcast. Y'all go ahead and finish y'all little podcast y'all doing. But
we did get that Adidas deal in 3 years.
Yeah, no doubt. We're gonna look back at this point like, damn, remember Brandon said they're starting that podcast? We all laughed. You know, boy got sponsors out the wazoo now. But it was instantly, I knew that Kyle can relate to kids of any cultures, any backgrounds, and I knew I needed a person like that to help me out. I couldn't just bring anybody into Opelousas. I mean, it doesn't work like that. You know, we just had an experience with our football coach and athletic director. You can't just throw anybody into the job at Opelousas, which I'm sure of any, you know, little inner city schools, you got to have somebody that can relate to the kids, you know. And when I told the team I was bringing in Kyle Carrigy, you know, he came, and I'm talking like he's not even sitting right here, but he's sitting right here by me. But this is definitely due, and this is, you know, just a compliment to Kyle. You know, he came in the first couple days and, you know, started coaching right away, telling the kids this or that, and they were kind of looking like, man, who's this other white guy in the gym? We already got a white guy in the gym. We got Coach Boyd. You know, he's the crazy white guy that, you know, knows, you know, he knows everything, you know, but. And once I broke it down to him after practice one day or before practice, 1 or 2 practices in, that, you know, who actually Kyle was, who he represents, who he has coached in the past, and when the guys of Mark Vital and Tay Hardy and Corey Davis all could be major Division I players and already are Division I players, respect this guy and listen to this guy and take his coaching. It was all in. Kyle would, you know, they would come to Kyle for advice every day now. You know, they wanted to be Mark Vital and Tay Hardy, you know. So I always wanted to tell you that, Kyle, and I appreciate it. We had fun this year. We had a great season. You know, it was, you know, a lot of ups and downs. Made some runs. We knocked off some good teams.
Really good teams.
You know.
And I appreciate that, man. And, you know, when I came to you, I wanted to get back into basketball, and I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that you gave me that opportunity to do something that I love, and I think you're right. I think you can know all the X and O's about basketball, but if you can't relate to these kids these days, they will never run through that wall for you. And when you get those kids running through a wall for you, taking charges, doing all these small things, that's when you can have a special season. And I thought we did, man. I thought we did a lot more than what people thought. You know, and we got some returning players, and I'm real excited. But I thank you, man, and I appreciate you giving me that opportunity. So.
No doubt. You heard it, man. Look, I got people thanking me already, man. First podcast, and they thanking B Boyd already, man. But definitely a good thing. And we speaking on behalf because we coached at Opelousas High School. Head boys coach Kyle Carrigy was my assistant coach. Shout out to my other assistant coaches, Josh Edwards, Coach Jeremy Richardson, both. Jeremy Richardson, very knowledgeable guy, also did all the stats for us, kept everybody, you know, in line on that bench. And Coach Edwards was, you know, just a major piece of the success we had. Anything we ever needed done. Text coach, I think his little daughter, who's maybe 2 now, you know, every time he told me the other day, every time his phone rings, he says, "Answer, Daddy." She says, "Answer, Dad. It's Coach Boyd. It's Coach Boyd calling." So and my wife, we talk about it all the time. How many times you and Coach Edwards gonna talk during the day? You know, but that just shows you how good of a relationship our whole coaching staff had. You know, and you know, Kyle being in the construction business right now, he you know, we were able to work around his schedule. He worked around our schedule, and you know, found a way to not only, you know, have a job all day long, but then also take off from that job at times, or at the end of the day, come and give back to those kids in Opelousas. And the kids, myself, you know, people in the community that were a part of the team, their parents, they all said the same thing about you, Kyle. So definitely appreciate you know, all the hard work you did this year. All right, so look, let's jump back and get back into March Madness.
Best time of the year.
Well, I want to bring up one thing,
Yeah.
okay? Because, you know, this is our first time, man. We're thinking doing like a 30-minute show. You know, we're sitting here at 12 minutes in.
Yeah.
So we got a little time.
Yeah,
I want to talk a little, you know, I want to bring up, and we said NBA basketball, and we're not going to touch on that yet, all the way down to bitty basketball. I just want to give some props to myself. You know, my wife's going to love that. She says, you got to be humble sometimes, man. I said, sometimes humble don't get it done, man. You know, and look, I am humble at times. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, from how I grew up, you had to be tough, man. You had to go and get it. And like most people that start from the bottom and trying to get to the top, that's pretty much the story. And it's true. It's a story. It's an outline, you know. But we went this weekend to Slidell, Louisiana with my little girl, Brennan. Brennan's going to love that I gave her a shout-out, Brennan Boyd. Katie Anna Biddy.
I think she's got a better shot than Brad.
Oh, that's what they saying.
That's the word on the street.
How can she shoot like that? Well, she might be able to shoot better than me, but she probably can't shoot better than my wife, you know, who also was a shooter, you know. Many battles already battled and ones to come in the driveway at our house all day long, of playing horse and one-on-one and one-on-two. But we went down to Slidell, Louisiana this week, Kyle, and I told you, I didn't brag to everybody. I sound like, people that I know from Opelousas, old people that used to go by my dad's convenience store, they would say all the time that, man, your dad loved talking about you, loved talking about basketball and how you played and this or that, which I love to hear that. I mean, me and my dad never talked much about, oh, Brad, you're good,
Right.
or Brad, do this, or you need to score more points or nothing. He just loved who I was. He just loved come and watch the games and reading the newspapers on the next day. That's what he loved, So, and to do that now, to go back and coach my daughter, that she's, she's 10 years old. She's on a 9 and 10 Acadiana Biddy, all-star team. We go down to Slidell, Louisiana this weekend, 5 games.
What was the margin of victory in those 5 games?
And he knows that because I told him we were 20 plus. We were 20 plus on the margin of victory on those games, and we averaged 47 points a game in Biddy basketball. 10-year-old girls at 6 minutes a quarter.
Wow.
And people, what do y'all do? Every coach,
They must be practicing every day.
Yeah. We joked on the way out. And look, we got to give shout outs all day long. Shout out to Taylor and Taylor's uncle, Mr. Eddie, part-time assistant coach when he needs to break a sweat at practice. He's in the lobby with some of the fans of the last game, and we punished him. Not purposely punished him.
In the
We just
finals,
in
right?
the finals of the Slidell. All the good teams were there. JPRD West Bank, JPRD East Bank, St. Charles Parish, South Lafourche Parish. We knocked them all off, and in the finals we won 47-19. And this is 10-year-old girls. Sometimes when we were at high school this year, we was like, God damn, we have 40. We need to get to 60.
We couldn't even score 40.
But we have something special, and when teams you play that are good and you beat them handily, and those coaches compliment you and come and tell you that, man, y'all have a good team, and I contribute this to a lot of things, but all of our kids that play on our team, their moms and dads played sports.
Right.
They whether it be soccer or basketball or baseball or I could probably name you 4 or 5 kids' parents on our team that played college sports, college football, college basketball, so I think being a sports family and being involved with sports and watching sports on TV, my little girl is decent. She's not the best on the team, but she's a thinker, and you see her at all our games.
Yes.
She's in the gym. I told Kyle the other day, I said, we're drawing stuff on pieces of paper and throwing ideas, and let's do it. Let's do this. Let's do the podcast. Let's get it. We're doing it. Let's do it.
Gotta jump in.
And we're here today, and I'm feeling like we're like the guys from Walk-Ons.
Right.
I mean, write it on the napkin.
napkin.
5 years later, we're worth $100 million. Hey, it can be done. It can be done. So we're gonna jump right into it. Right here, we're gonna talk about. We kind of go break down like the big four things about the March Madness we want to talk about right before the tournament starts. We know we had a couple games already.
The first 4 games.
Yeah, the play-in games.
The Thursday
the play-in
is when
games,
it starts.
like when you don't win no games in the high school
Right.
split, but you still get to go to the playoffs.
You get a bye.
Well,
and you get a bye.
Well, I can't say that because 11-on-11, Wake Forest and they were playing Wake
Good
Forest,
game,
and it's a good game, but okay, let's get past that. 4 things we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about sleepers. And we also got, and throwing in with the sleepers is the 5-12 upset.
12s are always winning.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
I know,
2 out of
it's
4,
crazy. And I
every
think
year.
sometimes I think they give some of those teams a 12 seed,
Right.
knowing they better than that, but knowing that they're going to have the
Well,
upset.
I was looking at the bracket right now.
You know?
I mean, look at Wichita State is a 30-win team, 30-4, always known as a big-time mid-major program, and they got them as a 10th seed.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I got
to me.
Wichita State, definitely winning the first round. I can't believe it either. You know what? I'm a big fan of, and if you don't know and you're filling out brackets, if you click on the little info, small I, it'll say 60% Wichita State or 40%.
Yep.
The numbers are always right on, man.
69%.
69%. I'm taking that.
Dayton.
I'm taking that.
All
I
day.
might fill out my whole bracket looking at the percentages. I mean, I might fill out one like that, and I might fill out another one going with my gut. You know,
I kind of feel bad for Kentucky, which most people would be like, "Kyle, you're crazy," but they got to face Wichita
Yeah.
State in the
Yeah.
second round.
Yeah.
That's a big for a number 2 seed. That's a huge team to play.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You know, well, and that's gonna play into all my to one of my top 3 coaches as
Yep.
well. You know, so listen, we talking sleepers, 5-12 upsets. We talking, and we just threw this out there. We're saying throw your nuts out there from the jump before we pick a winner of any game. Before we pick a winner of any game,
Who's gonna win it all?
We're gonna throw our nuts out there.
Oh, man. I don't know if
listen,
I'm ready for this.
and listen, some of you viewers, you younger viewers, might not know who my dad was. Tim Boyd passed away about 5-6 years ago. Some of my older viewers, I shouldn't say older viewers, I don't want to call anybody out, but whoever knew my dad knows this about my dad. And he always told me this, you know, and sometimes you go out on a limb, sometimes you go for the gusto. That was his saying. You go for the gusto. You know, you go for the gusto. You know, you got a chance to hit the home run, you swing for the fences, you hit the home run, you know. And my dad was a big-time golfer, you know, in Opelousas Indian Hills Country Club, played golf with Judge Jimmy Genovez, Dr. Brad Davis, the Ham and Hammer, the running back from LSU back in the day, Brad Davis, Robert Wolf, just a bunch of, you know, big-name people in Opelousas, you know, and my dad was always winning. You know, he was a player, you know. He went for when he could hit it to the green in 2, he's not laying up. He's going for the green. He's cashing in, you know, and he, you know, that's one thing I did learn from my dad was be aggressive, you know, and go for it, you know.
Maybe we should change this segment just to his name.
Go for the gusto.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
like that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Shout out to Tim Boyd. I know you listening, you know, from where you're at, you know, above, like people like to say. But, yeah, so we're going to switch that up, man. Hey, we got it on a piece of paper, man. We can erase this.
Yeah,
and
we
write
can do
it
whatever
in.
we
can erase
want.
this and write it in, man. You know, as we looking at Kyle Carragher's wife through the window. I'm actually sitting at my boy's back patio, and the house he built is unbelievable. Shout out to
Night Construction.
Night Construction, yeah,
Brock
man.
Prince.
Brock Prince, man, did a hell of a job building this house. Kyle basically built it too himself, you know, with the crew, I'm sure, and you know, great house. But we're sitting here.
And if many of you don't know, Lacey, my wife, her father is the legendary Danny Broussard.
Yes, well, how can we do
St. Thomas More?
How can we do a show and not
be so mad?
Yeah. Coach Danny, you know,
Coach Danny, we're getting you on the podcast.
Yes, you got to
Calling
come
you
on.
out now.
Yes, you got to come on the show. Which Danny, we know you love to talk, so you're gonna be out here. We might have to do an hour long with Danny B. You know, but yeah, definitely shout out St. Thomas More. I'm a graduate of St. Thomas More. Played for Danny Broussard. Kyle married Danny's daughter, and just you know, that's
All
kind of how it
family.
ties in, man. It's
Yeah.
a whole basketball. You know, it's the basketball world. Everybody knows a lot of people, but when it's close family, it's something special, man. So listen. So back to the Big Four. We got the sleepers and the 5-12 upsets. We got the going for the gusto.
Going for the gusto.
We got the third section. We're gonna talk about is who's due. Who's some of the coaches due. Maybe one or two guys that are due to get to the Final Four. Finally get there.
Year after year.
Yeah,
Top
maybe
5
Sharp.
recruitment.
Yes, yeah, top 5 recruiting. Maybe.
Always got the talent.
Yeah, always got the talent. And then to top it off, we'll top it off with our favorite 3 coaches that are in the tournament this year. You know, so let's bring it back to the top. You off top, Kyle. Let's go with who your sleeper. I guess would be a 5-12 upset. So pick a 5-12 upset that you like
5-12
out of the
upset.
4 regions.
Man, right off the back, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Middle Tennessee over Minnesota.
Yes.
I guess just because I've seen Middle Tennessee through the years in the Sun Belt, and as they went to the Conference USA, they just kept their program and did a really good job. And I think that's who I'm going with as my 5-12 upset.
Yeah.
Is Middle Tennessee. Man.
And listen, every time I see a school on TV or a place, an arena that I've played in before, I always grab my little girl and I say, you know, Daddy scored 26 over there. You know, Daddy scored 18 over there. So I laughed earlier in the year to myself when I heard a particular radio host or guy say the toughest road trip in the Sun Belt Conference this year was Appalachian State and Coastal Carolina.
It's not the same.
And I'm like, geez, man. When I played, if you could go to Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky on a Thursday, Saturday, and come out 2-0, you were on to something. We
Yep.
were able to do that one time in 4 years.
With the
and
teams
it
y'all
might have
had,
been, with
man.
the teams we had, we might have been able to do that one time. I don't know if the 99, 2000, I don't know when the last time they did that, but in 2004, my senior year, Larry Bridges' senior year, Antoine Landry senior year, Chris Williams senior year, we went on that road trip and we brought it to Western Kentucky, 110 to 102, and I don't remember the Middle Tennessee score, but we brought it to them too. And shout out to my guys from Western Kentucky, Anthony Winchester, Patrick Sparks was also two really good guards they have, and the guy with I'm not sure the team he plays with this year in the NBA, Courtney Lee.
Courtney Lee.
Western
I forgot,
Kentucky
yeah.
guy. You know,
Didn't they have a good guy, really good guard from Slidell recently? Right before they went to
Yes, they did. I can't remember when they made. Maybe
he was
they-
number 52.
Yeah, the same year. Oh yeah, they sure did.
was
Oh man, we gotta
good,
get that
man.
guy's name. Oh, you know another topic that we have, and I have the list, and I'm gonna get it on my phone.
Is all the Louisiana players
yes.
playing on
we
out-of-state
yes.
teams.
And we can maybe do that the second episode.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
though we might not get to them tonight. There's I want to say there's 10 to 15 guys on different teams throughout the NCAA tournament that are from Louisiana. We want to give a shout out to those guys too. Eventually, you know.
So Brad, who is your?
Well, you kind of took mine. That brought me.
You
to-
let me go first.
Yes,
man.
I know. And you know, we want to make it diverse, but sometimes we could agree
You
on
can
the same
piggyback
stuff.
off
Yeah,
me if
yeah,
you need
yeah.
to.
No doubt. I mean, I respect your opinion. I think the same thing. You know, Kermit Davis is a friend of mine. You know, when I was playing at UL, he was coaching at Middle Tennessee. Always had good teams. Always was trying to get to the NCAA tournament. I was happy to see him last year. They upset Michigan State last year.
I remember that,
You
yeah.
know, he better be the highest paid Conference USA coach. I mean, he's doing wonders for Middle Tennessee. They better put up that money, or somebody's gonna snatch him up. I mean, they won 30 games this year, 18-1, 17-1 in their conference. I mean,
Dominated.
that's somebody screaming. I guarantee you, if he has what's old buddy's name? The dang actor, I can't think of him. Tom Cruise. If he got Tom Cruise's agent, he's calling him on the phone right now. Show me the money, you know.
I think
you know.
they got a couple jobs opening up, like
Yeah.
NC State.
Yes, yeah, NC State, LSU.
some big
He's a
jobs.
former LSU assistant too.
Watch
you
out
know.
for that, guys.
Shoot, speaking of coaches, maybe on the move, Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee coaches might be competing for the same jobs, man. You know, shout out to Rick Stansberry too, man. That you know, I mean, he just came into Louisiana and got
Yeah.
the two best players. He got the best big man in Mitchell Robinson out of Chalmette High School, a top 28 team, and then a top 28 champion,
And shout
Josh,
out to Josh Anderson.
Madison Prep.
Madison
you know,
Prep guys, two top 50 guys, one
Top
top
50
10 guy,
guys.
and you're in the Conference USA. That's unbelievable. Shout out to my guy Quantus White, who's actually I played with Quantus's brother Josh White at Christian Life in Baton Rouge, and Quantus is the one that got me into coaching. So shout out to Quantus. He's doing
Yeah.
big things
Yeah.
with Coach Stansberry.
It's crazy though. People that you know or you maybe have met after I have known them.
Right.
I don't necessarily know Quantus White, but when I was a little kid, I say little kid, when I was 8th grade, 9th grade, St. Aug comes to Sunkist Shootout. Danny Broussard, shout out to you again, Danny. One of the greatest tournaments in Louisiana, day or two after Christmas every year. St. Aug comes to Sunkist Shootout. You got Quantus White.
Hollis Price.
And you got Hollis Price. You know, and the year before that, I want to say when I was in 8th grade or 9th grade, I want to say maybe even the same year, I might have my years messed by one or two, Eugene Edgerson, who played with the Fro, with the Chuck Taylors, with the High Sox, went on to play at Arizona. You know, I looked at those guys. I would go back to my house in my driveway and play 1-on-1 and 2-on-2 with myself as Hollis Price, Quantus White, you know, just, you know, Clarence Moore, you know, I mean, just big time people's names that you try to emulate, when you like their game, you know. So
And shout out to my guy Haley and Knight, Boogie.
Boogie.
He was my a coach with me for Southern League. We coached together at Lamar State University Community College. But didn't you coach one of his semi-pro teams?
Oh yeah,
And y'all
yeah.
remember y'all knew each
It's
other before
crazy.
we met.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was actually named. You know, and not to talk bad about anybody or whatever, it just didn't work out.
Right.
Some people came in, wanted to do an ABA team in Lafayette.
I remember that.
Contacted me and Kevin Figueroa. People told them, if you want to do some basketball in Lafayette, contact Brad Boyd, contact Kevin
Yeah.
Figueroa. They did. They reached out to us. They wanted us to coach, put together a tryout, and man, we had a good squad. Then they started letting go the best players. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, hold up. I'd go try to talk to the guy who's the money guy, you know,
Right.
it's supposed to be, you know, and I'm like, what's going on, you
Right.
know? And it just didn't work out, you know. So, but yeah, so I've technically been a biddy coach.
Yeah.
I've been an AAU coach. I've been a high school coach. I've been a girls' high school coach. I've been an ABA coach. I've coached as an assistant coach in college at UL. Believe
Yeah,
it
I
or not,
remember that.
was assistant coach at UL for free. You know, basically finishing my degree and whatnot. And you know, so all levels, man, except the NBA. Maybe one day we're talking about Pelicans or something like that. And you know, I mean, Louisiana boy coaching the Pelicans, man. You know, if you're gonna switch the name, let's go full out.
All
you know,
out.
down south Cajun.
Yeah.
You know, make it happen. Bobby Boucher. You know, bring out the water boy. You know, whatever it is. You know.
You brought up Kevin Figueroa, man. Great guy. He was actually a part of Southern League with me. Really good guy, man, and always about the kids. Just love that dude, man.
Yeah,
let's-
former. Before we jump right in there, if you get a shout out Kevin Figueroa, we got to shout out UL, former UL great, former Atlanta Hawk, former Lafayette High All-American, All-State, retired his jersey, one of
Yes.
two jerseys in the history of Lafayette High being retired. I mean, that's big time. Kevin Figueroa was, you know, another
Great
guy that
man.
I looked up to. That when I figured out and found out who Kevin Figueroa was, and,
Right.
you know, and he's got great kids. All of them went, you know, went on to high school, and his youngest one's going to play college ball, and his middle one played college football
Yep.
at UL, and his oldest one was the manager for the basketball team
Yep.
at UL. Shout out to Kamari and Devin and Javon Figueroa. Great family for sure. Okay, so our 5-12 picks was the same, man. Middle Tennessee for
Yeah.
both of us.
So let's do.
Oh yeah, we're gonna jump into who.
Well, no,
who-
let's
who-
do
who we're gonna do?
sleepers.
Oh yeah, sleepers
As
too.
far as who's a team
Well, anything
that you think.
anything with a
could-
higher seed to me, if they beat somebody, is a sleeper. Well,
Or-
I mean,
or-
a
or-
9-8. I even give a 9-8. A 9-8 is upset. If the number's higher,
But to me, I think like I could see Purdue making the Final Four. To me, that's a sleeper.
yeah, that's a sleeper.
You
Yeah.
know?
What Purdue's a 4?
A 4,
Yeah.
but nobody has
Nobody's talking about
unless
Purdue
you
right
went
now.
to Purdue.
Yeah, Purdue's coach. Is that Painter?
Yes.
Is that Painter? Good
Yeah.
coach too, man.
Yeah.
Good coach too. I like Painter a lot.
Do you have a team
As we
like
flip
that?
on the numbers though, go back, scroll back though.
That's a sleeper.
That's a sleeper.
2%.
2%
11%, hold on.
to win it all or to go to the Final Four? Oh,
Final
11% to the Final Four.
Final Four.
11% to make it to the Final Four. Purdue, you
They're
know.
sleeping on the Big Ten's down this year. You know,
I think I clicked on the info. I think Purdue had a top 10 strength of schedule, maybe
Yes.
top 20, somewhere right there, you know. And
Do you have a team that you think could reach the Final Four that nobody's talking about?
well, we talked about it earlier, and I don't know if nobody's talking about him. I like Baylor, and if the guy I asked you about's healthy, you know, I like their shots. Baylor was so good early on,
They
man.
were.
I mean, they reached number one, but they got caught with the number one curse. You know, oh, Baylor down to 5%, 6%.
Purdue, 11%.
Purdue got 11%. So, but that brings us back. Who's the bigger sleeper then?
Right.
I guess Baylor might be the
You're
biggest
right,
sleeper. I got
you're
the
right,
lower
you're
percentage,
right,
you know.
you're right.
So my guy Kyle's going with Purdue. I'm gonna go with Baylor as a sleeper
For the Final Four.
for the Final Four as a sleeper. I'm going with Baylor. And you know what's funny though? I don't even have Baylor to make it to the Final Four in my bracket. You know, so
But, hey.
it's you know it's kind of janky, but you know I'll go with Baylor as my sleeper. You know.
I think we missed. Did we miss who we were going to pick?
Yeah, we didn't pick nobody straight up.
Straight up.
Nobody straight up.
So,
So
since I went first,
okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first. Going for the shout out to Tim Boyd. Going for the gusto out the jump, and not
Going
picking no
for the
teams. We're gonna say
gusto.
who's gonna win it. Who's gonna win it? I think over the years, the last couple years, the teams that have won it is strictly guard play.
point
You know,
guard. You
point
got to
guard.
have a point guard.
You don't even need that good of a shooting guard. Maybe a power forward that can shoot a couple threes, but the
You
point
gotta
guard.
have a point guard.
I'm going with Kansas. I'm going with
like
Frank
that.
Masons Jr. I mean,
I like
the
it.
guy might be player of the year this year. I think
like
I think he could be player of the year
I
this
like
year.
it.
You know, if the ball's in that guy's hands with the pieces they have around him, I'm going with Kansas. I'm going with Kansas. You know, Bill Self, great coach. He's got some good pieces. You know, somebody the other day said that, oh, well, they're not playing that well right now. You know, I heard somebody say, oh, not well right now. Okay. You know, Bill Self's been there before. Bill Self.
What is the Big 12 title They've won it every
Yes,
for the last
they-
16.
they-
or
you know-
somebody might have to correct me, but it's something crazy like
yeah, 15, 12 or
something.
14, 12, 13 or 14,
Shared
something
the
like
title
that.
or outright
I
title.
mean, unbelievable.
That's
you know.
unbelievable in the Big
You know,
12.
When you're on top and everybody's gunning for your neck and you happen to lose a game, it's not that you're not playing that well right now. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, it happens.
And I don't think you can really look at conference tournaments as an indicator because they dropped the ball in that game that they lost.
we have to look at it.
But
man,
when
like,
you're that good in college, it's almost the NBA. When
Yeah.
you're ready for the playoffs.
yes,
You
you're
know,
right.
you
It's
start,
not like we're in Appaloosas and we say, what are y'all doing? Y'all
Right.
think y'all just turn it on
Right.
and turn it off? No, you're not in the NBA. You're not at Kansas.
They
you're not
can
at-
turn
you're-
it on.
Yes, you're not in North Carolina. They turn it on and off. They turn
Okay.
it on and off. So,
well, I'm
um,
glad you're going with a 1 seed as you.
Yeah, I'm going with the 1 seed. I mean, click on Kansas. What's the percentage of them winning it all?
10%.
10%. So who? What other 1 seed? You got Villanova at 14,
15%.
15,
Let's see.
and then Gonzaga at
14, and then we got 7. Ooh, UNC.
UNC is 7, the
Which
lowest
they
one,
do
huh?
have a good guard play.
Yeah, Barry. Is it Barry?
Yeah.
Barry the guard. You know.
I think I'm go back to our.
Oh yeah, it's on you. I got Kansas.
I think I'm going to the West Coast, man. I think I'm going to Arizona.
Oh,
I
is that gonna tie in? Is that gonna tie in?
It's
Who's
tying
due?
into our next.
So one of our other
segment,
topics is
man.
who's due. It's gonna go right into who's due.
I think this
Um,
guy, man, he's just gonna be one of those next in line. He's young, you know. He's always getting that top 5 recruitment, and in the college game, if you can recruit, that's
Yes.
the key.
Yes, you got to relate, man.
You gotta relate.
You got to be able to relate to these kids. You can be considered one of the best coaches, but if Calipari or Coach K or Rick Pitino
Right.
or just different people that been Arizona, Sean Miller, if you don't have those top level players, you could be the best coach in the world.
Oh, man.
You probably be on a mid major level.
Right.
If you can't secure top quality athletes, and that's a huge part. Even on the mid major level,
Right.
you have to be able to get some steals. You have to be able to get some quality transfers. And just
he's
roll with
pulling
it.
from all over the country.
Yeah,
man.
he's going all over the country.
New
Sean Miller, big
York.
time, man.
Yeah, big time.
We tied this all in, man. Arizona, they beat us at the buzzer.
I remember
Andre
that.
Iguodala, Golden State Warriors, who wasn't a shooter in college, couldn't hardly dribble in college. No disrespect to my guy Andre. I mean, if he ever hears the episode, no disrespect, but the guy hits a 3-pointer doing a leg split. But Dwayne Mitchell falls on the floor and slides between his legs, and he jumps and does a leg kick like he's on the balance beam, and he drills a 3-pointer with 4 seconds to go. So you went with
Arizona.
Arizona to win it
You
all.
went with-
I went with Kansas. And
So
Kansas,
who's due now? Who's the coach? If you had to pick one that you think, man, this guy just needs that one magical moment,
Yeah.
that one break.
Yeah, so we were talking on
Who's due?
who's due. You said Arizona.
Well, I picked
Arizona to win it, but they
win
also
it,
do.
But that goes into
Sean Miller.
the guy I think
Yeah.
that, man, he's
Yeah.
due to
Yeah.
get a Final
Also,
Four run.
also a great dude. And he's
Yeah.
made what did Sean Miller do? He went. Sean Miller was
He was
under
mid-major.
Thad Matta. Was he under Thad Matta? I think he went Butler, then Butler to Arizona.
No, he had a head job before that. Let me talk to him. I'm gonna look it up. real
Yeah, he's
quick.
he's gonna look up the Sean Miller coaching path, but Sean Miller definitely due. Gonzaga, I think they're due to go to the Final Four. Coach Few, great team, and they got big bodies, they got shooters. Always well coached, man. They got schemes on top of schemes. Let's looking up. Oh, Pittsburgh. Oh, he played at Pittsburgh.
Xavier. He coached
Xavier.
at-
That's
I
well, yeah,
remember
under
that.
Thad Matta.
Oh,
Thad
okay.
Matta. It was Thad Matta.
And then he took over.
Went to Ohio State.
And
He
then he
took
took
over
over- I
Xavier. Then
remember
bounced
that.
from
Okay.
Xavier, went to Arizona, and like I say, money talks, bullshit walks, man. And and he landed a good job in Arizona, and he's one of the highest paid coaches in the country.
And he's producing, man.
Yeah.
He's producing,
Yeah.
and his time is. And he's still young, man.
Yeah, young guy.
guys.
He's probably 45, 1968. Yes, he's about 48.
yeah.
About 48,
He's due. And they got a kid on the team. I'm gonna look up their roster real quick.
So my guy Kyle went with Sean Miller, Arizona. I went with Gonzaga. That's our two who's due to make it to the Final Four. And then we're going to go, we're going to talk about real quick because we got to wrap this up pretty soon. Now we're pushing 50 minutes. We're talking 30 minutes, man. We can get an hour, no problem. But let's go over.
It goes by fast.
Kyle's
man.
gonna have his picks, his top 3 tourney coaches, top 3 coaches that you like that are in the NCAA tournament. Probably most of you guys that you're gonna name are constantly in the NCAA tournament.
Right. Well, I think it's more so not what they do during the season. It's,
Yes.
it's who's actually producing, who's actually getting their team ready to make those runs. And then shout out to Mike Diaz. I played for Mike Diaz.
Oh yeah, shout out Mike Diaz.
Yeah.
Nike Travel Select, first guy to ever bring Nike deal to Louisiana,
any
shoe deal.
Yeah, big
to
time,
Louisiana.
big time.
And then we went to the Paul Millsap Classic this
And he
year.
does a great job, man.
Yeah.
And he's still involved. His team's
Yeah.
still going. And
Shout out to Coach Diaz,
yeah,
man.
shout
Coach
out.
Diaz, matter of fact, I had just gotten a girlfriend.
Yeah.
He comes to Opelousas. We go to some little bar, sports bar, and he's trying to convince me to go up to Shreveport every weekend to practice and play for Nike Select. And I had just told Mr. Charlie Artemon with the Louisiana Stars I was gonna play AAU
Love
with
that
them.
dude,
You know,
too. Shout out to him, man.
Yeah, great guy, man. Just, you know, a guy that didn't have the shoe deal but
No.
spent his own money. Mud engineer. Would get home, get his check. He'd spend the money on the kids, man. He took us all over the country, man.
My favorite story about him was he took me to a tournament because at the time I wasn't the best player, but he let me play with the team. You know, I was at ESA with Coach Mike, and him and Coach Mike had a great relationship. Shout out to Coach Mike Bourgeois.
Yeah, Mike Booge.
Just made his first top 28
Yeah,
appearance.
went to the top 28
28,
Booge, man.
big time, baby.
And I was about to drop the F-bomb right there. And
It's a podcast.
It's a
man.
podcast. I know.
There's no restrictions.
I know. But I don't want to have Beth Boyd calling me after she listened to an hour. And
You
she
know,
said,
she punched me in the face one time at this season when I went asking for a timeout. She
Yeah.
called and apologized. Oh, my bad. I said, you better watch out for that jab.
Oh Lord, Beth Boyd doesn't play. Especially don't mess with her about how many fouls it is and whose ball it is and what possession the arrow's supposed to go, because she has it written in that book. And matter of fact, she had to correct the official for our playoff game.
I
He tried to say,
remember
"Oh, I thought we had a jump ball." And don't
She's on point.
listen. Next episode or one of these episodes, I don't want to get into it now because it'll be another hour talking about Louisiana high school basketball officials. I mean.
I think that might be our most viewed podcast.
That's
If
gonna
we
be
get
the
into
one.
that,
That's
bruh.
gonna be the one. That's
Everybody's
be the
gonna
one.
want to see what's Brad got to say.
Week 2 or 3, we talking about Louisiana high school officials, man. We're gonna break it down, man. You know,
I think we should get Diaz, Mike Diaz. I think
Hmm.
if we do
who is also
a really good referee,
really good high school
One of the
official.
better ones,
One of
man.
the better ones in
But
Louisiana.
to go back to the story about Charlie, so we're in Baton Rouge, we're playing, and he brings me home. And I remember when I got home, my parents were like, "Kyle, did you smoke?"
Yeah,
like, 'cause Charlie-
drive the van,
Oh, dude.
reading the newspaper,
With-
smoking a cigar
with the windows up.
With the windows up. So we drove to Des Moines, Iowa, with Charlie in a van.
I was only an hour.
And Charlie came, he had the seal was still on the box of cigars.
Yes.
And by the time we came back from 9 days in Des Moines, Iowa, there was no cigars left. Matter of fact, we had to pull off the road about at on the outskirts of Alexandria, coming back towards Opelousas, towards Lafayette. But Mama had to call him on the phone. We had to pull over because he was swerving side to side, falling asleep, trying to drive
Yeah.
16 hours, 17 hours instead of, having to get that hotel room for one more night, because he was spending his own money. And I don't blame him,
No.
But we pulled over. I'm 17 years old. I drove my mama's car back. My mama jumped in the van, drove the rest of the team back, and we made it back safe, But shout out to Charlie Artemon. Those last 2 years of my 16 and 17-year-old AAU were great. I mean, 16-year-olds, we go to Des Moines, Iowa, we come out 5th in the country.
Wow.
I mean, that was my coming out moment to playing
Yeah.
against some of the best players in the country. I averaged close to 30 points a game in that national tournament. I want to say in 8 games. I want to say in 8 games I had over 50 three-pointers. In 8 games. 6, 7, 8 three-pointers a game. I mean, and knocked off some big-time teams
yeah.
and, some big-time. Scott Hazelton was supposed to go to UConn at the time. He played for Rhode Island something or Connecticut something. I can't remember the name, back in 1998 or 99 summer, and lit him up. I lit him up big
And that's
time,
the thing, man. You hear a lot of pros or some analysts. They give they might give you a headline, so they do a whole article about how bad AAU is. But
Yeah.
man, the opportunity Diaz gave me, and I didn't go on to
Yeah.
play college basketball, but
Yeah, no
that
doubt.
summer, I could tell my kids how many pros I
Yeah.
played against.
Yeah.
You know, and to go back to the Atlanta Celtics teams, that's when they had Josh Smith,
Yeah.
Dwight Howard,
yeah.
and like 3 other pros on that team. And it's just,
This is the thing, though. Don't bash AAU. Bash the bad AAU coaches.
Right.
You know, that,
Right.
that these big shoe companies are giving money to, but
Right.
don't know how to coach.
bash.
You know?
Yeah.
I know right now, if we got shoe money, if me and Kyle got shoe money, and we can coach and relate to the kids,
Right.
we'd have something special.
We
It
would.
wouldn't last 1 or 2 years
No.
and them take the money from us. We make a career out of this.
Right.
You know, basically we would. You know, I know we could. We in Lafayette, Louisiana, where I-10 and I-49
Right.
meets. You know, 2 or 3 hours to get to Lafayette from anywhere in the state. It could be a dynasty. You know, so shout out to Nike, Reebok, Adidas. You know, if you
Shout out to Jeff Jones, who is
Yes.
actually,
Yeah.
man, he's
Yeah.
he's the only 17-year-old
Yeah, no doubt.
team in Louisiana
Yes.
playing on the shoe company circuit. Dude's
Yes.
doing a phenomenal
job. Yeah. When nobody else got it, Jeff Jones, believe Jeff Jones got it, man. Shout out to Jeff, man. Got to know Jeff the last couple of years, man. Great dude. You
Really
know,
good guy, man.
really, you know, somebody that has so much, you know, sometimes you run across these people that have so much success that they don't have the time of day for the likes of a Brad Boyd or a
Right.
Kyle Carrigy or whatever, you know. But Jeff Jones, anytime I call him, anytime he calls me, great conversation, man, advice-wise, and he's dealt with it from top to bottom. I
Right.
mean, he has All-Americans, you know, for
Every
the last
year.
couple of years, you know, every year, and they want to play for Jeff.
Right.
You know, some teams, you know, in Louisiana have great teams, but the coaching is not that great.
Right.
You know, and we don't want to name no names or nothing like that. It just is what it is.
Right.
You know, some people are blessed to just walk into good things. Jeff Jones knows what he's doing.
Knows what he's doing.
You know, I've seen it firsthand. Him coaching. I've seen him playing against him in summer leagues and not. They just not out there playing basketball. They pressing. They got schemes. They run plays. You know, they execute. You know, so he definitely a good coach. Got something good going over there, man. You know, Madison Prep is on the top of the basketball world. If you got Madison Prep on the schedule, just count the L. Hopefully, it's a home game for you, and you can sell your gym out and make some money. You know, but you ain't beating them. You're not gonna beat them this year, next year. You know, so shout out to Jeff.
And, you know, I know y'all listening, and we just 5 minutes ago said, all right, now we're going to do our top 3 tournament coaches. But that's why we want to do the podcast, y'all.
Yeah.
It's
Something's
just
gonna
us
link.
talking.
Yeah,
It's
something's gonna
just-
link to something. We gotta relate on something.
And
that's
we
gonna,
might go off on tangents, but that's what it's for.
Yeah.
We have no restrictions,
Yeah.
no regulations.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
free.
We got
Whatever
real
we-
opinions.
Right. Whatever we want
We're
to say.
not protecting no jobs. We're not gonna say what somebody else wants us
Right.
to say. This is how I feel. You know, I'm gonna talk how I talk. So let's jump back into it. Let's get back on cast or on task. Top 3 tourney coaches. I'm gonna go first. I know
Okay.
I went first last time. I'm gonna go first again. My top coach of all time, John Calipari. I like Calipari. I think how he relates and talks to his players on his level. I kind of mimic that. I talk and relate to my guys. You know, bring them down to earth. I don't care if you the best of the best.
Right.
If you ain't doing what I want you to do, and you ain't doing it how I want you to do it, I'm gonna tell you about yourself. You know, and we gonna get it done. Because when you're a winner and you always win, you feel like you have the best advice. You feel like you can give the best coaching strategy. You know, and I know that's how Calipari does it. You know, himself. You know.
And too, watching him, man, the way he gets on those kids, I think people forget that all these guys are about to be millionaires.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not a lot of coaches can do that.
Listen, not to cut you off, but listen. The greatest, over the last couple of years, the greatest thing I heard Calipari say is this. He said a guy at practice told him, Coach, man, we tired. He said, son, 3 months ago, I was in a gym at AAU Nationals. You was eating nachos and hot dogs and sour power straws
Calipari.
and Gatorades, and I saw you play 5 games in a row, and you ain't never get tired one time. So how you tired right now 3 months later? When he said that, you know, I already love John Calipari, you know, but when he said that, I said, this is my favorite coach. It just felt like something that I would say to one of my AAU guys or one of our kids that's the best of the best at our school, but you know, he's trying to slack a little bit, and you got to keep it real, and you got to tell him how it is. You know, when he said that, I said, I mean, hands down, my favorite coach. You know, so Calipari's number one.
I think we should go 1 for 1.
Okay. Well, we should have went 3-2. I mean, we should have went 3-2-1. You know, your top 3.
yeah,
You know, so but I
you went.
I went top my top favorite. So I'll just say mine real quick. I'll go, and I won't give an explanation about each one. My third favorite, Bill Self, Kansas, always winning, always top of the tops. My 2 is Bob Huggins, Huggy Bear. I mean, he's another guy that's gonna tell it how it is.
He would have
hard-nosed.
won that national championship with Kenyon Martin if he didn't get hurt.
If you don't get hurt, you probably right. You probably correct everyone. And then like I said, number 1 is Calipari all time. You know, because I wanted to go to Kentucky. You know,
Yeah.
and I see on your list, and I'm not gonna say the name, but after you say the name, I'm gonna tell it. I wanted to go to Kentucky back in the day. And then once Calipari came to Kentucky, I was like, oh, I was in heaven.
Right.
I was like, that's my favorite guy at one of
And
my
I
favorite
think
basketball
Calipari,
schools.
I don't know how many have done it. I mean, UMass, Memphis, and Kentucky, Final Four appearances, right?
Yeah.
There's not too
Yeah.
many coaches
Yeah.
that brought 3 teams,
3 teams, you
to
know.
the Final Four,
You know,
and at
you know.
all certain kind of
Yeah.
levels on
Yeah.
on
When we
the
make it
college.
big time, I got to give a Calipari's suit guy because the
Yes.
dude is always in the
On
nicest suits.
point.
Tall, slim guy, nice suits. You know, I just mimic
and the
my
private
Calipari.
jet guy.
And the private jet guy. Yeah, we flying to Lafayette. Who y'all got? Oh, it's whoever the next big time recruit happens to be over the years. Might be my guy Jalen Southall.
I was about to say,
my
yeah.
boy Michael Southall's son, who's a 7th grader, who's raw right now. Don't mistake this. I'm not saying that my guy Southall, who I train his son, is at the top of his game right now. Is an unbelievable 7th grader. No, he's not. He's a beginner. He's working. But the kid's gonna be 6'10".
Yes.
He's gonna be 6'11". It's almost inevitable. He's 6'1" right now in the 7th grade. He's got a size 15 shoe.
Once he
huge,
learns how to use his body, man.
Kids eating extra value meals and snacks
Right.
after school. I mean, the kid's gonna be huge. So. Just developing that kid's gonna be something special. So we're gonna jump back into. We're
Yeah,
gonna
let me
switch
get-
over to Kyle.
All
Kyle's
right.
top 3 tourney teams in the NCAA. Start from the bottom, Kyle. I want you
Yeah.
to go 3, 2, 1.
So what I'll do is I'll say my 3 and 2, and then
Yeah.
I'll give an explanation for my 1.
Yes,
So
gotcha.
I'm going Rick Pitino.
Yes.
He's done it with multiple teams.
Yes.
I'm doing Coach K. I mean, he's just, since the freaking 80s, has
Yes.
produced and has adapted to every
How many people
culture.
hate Duke? How many people hate Coach K?
They hate him.
Reason why?
That-
Because he just wins. They
Wins.
win. They win. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like Coach K that much. I don't like Duke that much.
But what Coach,
they win.
He's what's that word? A chameleonaire?
Yeah.
He is.
He's adapted. He's adapted. He's
and
changed over time.
He's doing exactly what Calipari is doing, but having the clean cut look.
How many players
You know
you
what I
think
mean?
that Coach K has sat in their living room, and then that player decided not to go to Duke?
Not many.
Not many.
Brandon Ingram
Yeah.
played for Jerry Stackhouse's. Jerry Stackhouse coached
Yeah.
his own AAU
Yeah.
team. The dude is all about North Carolina,
Yeah.
and Brandon Ingram still went to Duke.
I had an uncle that lived on the mountain on top of and I'm drawing a blank. What's the prep school that Jerry Stackhouse went to?
Oak Hill.
Oak Hill.
Yeah.
My uncle lived on the mountain on top of Oak Hill where he raised llamas.
And-
Former IBM retiree. Shout out to my uncle, Bip Boyd, who passed away a couple months ago. He lived on the top of a mountain on mouth of Wilson, Virginia, on a mountainside, raising llamas. And at the bottom of the mountain was Oak Hill Academy. I mean, like
Nothing.
literally, they're like a hole in the wall. Like, I don't think Oak Hill ever plays a home game.
Never.
Nobody.
All they have in their gym is
Yeah.
just the NBA jerseys.
That's it.
From the former
All the
players.
NBA jerseys.
But it works.
Yeah, but it works.
works.
But it works.
And then my last guy is Tom Izzo, and he's won a couple national championships. I think he's won 2 or 1
one for sure with
Monte
Mateen Cleaves.
Mateen Cleaves.
Yeah.
But it seems like every other year or every 2 years, that guy, no matter what seed, is in the Final Four.
Yeah. Well, last year though, Kermit Davis, Middle Tennessee, got the
Got
upset
him.
on, but they was down a little bit last year.
And
you know?
well, this year they're not going to make a
Yeah,
run.
they're
They're
not-
hurt.
yeah, they're
Miles
hurt, yeah.
Bridges, look out for him for the NBA.
Yeah.
You know, so that's our top 3, and I think, man, I think it's time to wrap this bad boy up.
Well, let's go over real quick though.
Okay.
Bring up the bracket real quick. We'll give them a rundown of who we're gonna go run down each game real quick, bang, bang,
Okay.
bang. Who the first round
All
first
right.
round winners, and maybe if you think that team is gonna go to the Sweet 16.
Okay, we got Villanova.
Oh, we got to pencil in all the ones for round 1, right? So all the ones we got who? Villanova, Kansas,
Yeah,
North
Gonzaga.
Carolina, and
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. That's
So,
all
all
to
right.
win.
Wisconsin, Virginia Tech. Who you got?
I'm going Wisconsin.
Me too. Virginia, UNC,
UNC, Wilmington. I'm going with Virginia. You know,
I'm
tough
going
defense.
upset.
You going
I'm
upset?
going-
Oh, he's
I'm
going upset.
going
What you got?
upset.
What you got? Oh, that's another
UNC.
12-5. Another 12-5 upset. So
I'm
another
going with it.
12-5 upset. Another 12-5 upset. He's
Florida.
going.
East Tennessee State.
I'm going with Florida. Mike White. Shout out to another young coach.
Was at
Mike
Louisiana
White.
Tech.
Yeah, was at Louisiana Tech doing doing big things, man. Got it to Florida. I mean, they're a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. Your first year coaching over there. What are they? 24-6.
I think it's second.
Second year, yeah.
Yeah.
24-6, man. Shout out to Mike White.
And
man,
I'm
doing a
going
great job.
East Tennessee State on that one. We're gonna see a 12-13.
Oh,
in that
you
second.
like that? You
yeah.
thinking 12-13? Man,
Right
that's
there.
big. That's big.
SMU and the winner out of USC and Providence.
SMU's rolling, man. 30 wins. I'm going SMU.
I'm going SMU. Baylor, New Mexico State.
Man, Baylor, another team with 28-5, man. But I don't think Baylor's played a schedule that. New Mexico State. I mean, 28-5.
I'm going
I don't
Baylor.
think the type of competition they've seen versus playing a Baylor. I think Baylor's gonna win that.
And guys, we're gonna make a little Facebook page with our podcast, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Coach Boyd and Kyle's picks on there, so y'all can see if y'all know more about basketball than Coach Brad Boyd.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're gonna have that coming soon. Okay, so next is South Carolina Marquette.
I'm going with the Dookie coach, man.
I'm going Marquette too.
I'm going Marquette,
I'm going
man.
Marquette,
Shout out
too.
to Wojciechowski, man. Slap the
Wojciechowski.
floor, Wojo.
Defense.
Slap the floor.
Duke versus Troy. Duke.
I'm going with Duke. As much as I would want to see, actually I lied. Some people get caught up in, oh, well, if we ain't going for LSU and somebody's in a bowl game for the SEC,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
rep the SEC. Nah.
I don't care about that.
Only time I really got a little excited when West Kentucky knocked off a couple of the teams in the
Yes.
NCAA tournament, but Troy can't beat Duke.
Troy has no
Not on
chance.
that night.
Gonzaga. Okay, we're going Gonzaga. All right, Northwestern versus Vanderbilt.
Man, you know what? I picked Vanderbilt earlier, but
I'm going Northwestern.
I was about to say
That's
why.
a Dookie too, right? Collins.
Collins, Northwestern. But I was gonna say why. I picked Vanderbilt, and then a video came across my board where Northwestern beat Michigan at the buzzer on the full court pass,
Yeah, yeah.
and made the shot.
Magical.
I switched my pick. I'm going with Northwestern.
Magical.
I'm going with
That's what the
Northwestern.
March is about. Notre Dame and Princeton.
I'm going. And I heard shout out to my guy Stevie P. ESPN 1420. He picked that upset. He was saying Princeton. He like that upset. But I'm going with Notre Dame. I don't think they're gonna lose to Princeton. Not on the opening round. I think Notre Dame's playing good right now. They lost in the conference finals, but
I like that
I
team.
like
I'm going
Notre
Notre
Dame.
Dame.
I'm going Notre Dame too.
West Virginia and Bucknell.
I'm going Bob Huggins, man. I can't
Yeah.
pick against one of my favorite coaches. I'm gonna pick him till he loses out. I'm going with Bob Huggins and West Virginia.
Maryland and Xavier.
I'm going with Maryland. I'm going with Maryland.
I'm going Xavier.
And
on
look,
that
if
one.
Tim Boyd was alive, he's picking Xavier and he's picking Butler. Mark it down.
Every
Tim
time.
Boyd is picking Xavier and
I'm
Butler
going with
every
you.
time.
I'm
But
going with Pops.
Yeah, he's
I'm
going with
going-
Tim Boyd, and I should too. I might go back and change that.
You
but I'm
can't
going,
now, bro.
I can't.
Did we
I can't
put-
pick now. I mean, I'm going with Maryland now, but I'm talking about on the money ones, on the money
okay.
on the
The
money
ones that
picks.
really
Yeah, the
count.
ones that really count. Tim Boyd, he's a money player. Going with the money when the money counts. I'm gonna go with Maryland now, but I might switch it up to Xavier.
Florida State and Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, as much as I'd want to upset right there, I almost went to Florida State.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Coach, and I'll tell you I'm bad with names, man. I always told my friends when I went to the mall in Lafayette, and we're walking around, and people when I played college ball would come up and, oh, what's up, Brad? How you doing? If I said, what's up, boy? I didn't know who I was talking to, If I said your name, I knew, But Florida State recruited me hard, man, in the last couple of years of high school, and they stayed with a shooter. They wanted me to go there as a shooter, but just decided to stay on. But I'm going to Florida State right there. I'm going Florida State.
St. Mary's versus VCU. I'm going VCU right
Going
there.
VCU's. VCU. And we got to get those names. VCU has a kid from Louisiana
Malik.
on that team. Malik
From Riverside.
Crowfield. Yeah. Shout out to Malik.
Really good kid, man. Arizona.
Well,
North Dakota,
we're going Arizona off top. Yeah, you got Arizona winning it, man.
All right.
2 seed.
Then we got Kansas going. All right, Miami and Michigan State.
Um,
I'm going Michigan State.
you're going
with
Michigan
my
State.
boy.
That's your boy, man. I'm going Miami.
Miami?
I'm going Miami.
We got Iowa State and Nevada.
I'm going Iowa State.
I'm
They're hot.
going
They just beat
yeah,
Kansas. They're
I'm
not
going
about to
Iowa
lose to
State.
Nevada.
I like
They lose to
Iowa.
Nevada. That's a letdown. That's a big letdown. You beat Kansas. You're supposed to win a game or two in the NCAA tournament.
Purdue, Vermont. I'm going Purdue. That's my Final Four sleeper.
Yeah, that's your final. Oh, I'm going Purdue too.
All
The
right.
Vermont. It's not the year for Vermont.
I'm going. All right, then we got Creighton, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. 2 Louisiana guys on that
Yeah,
team, man.
we
But I'm
got,
going Creighton. No, I'm going Creighton. No, Mike Williams. And I can't think of the other guy's name.
What's-
Mike Williams plays for Rhode Island. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Lazard.
Mike Lazard. Mike Lazard.
And there's one more. Thompson.
Yeah. Shout out
No.
to my guy Bobby Sibley too, man. Bobby gave me a list of you put stuff on Facebook. You need a plumber. You need somebody to cut your grass. You need all the kids of that are from Louisiana that play in the NCAA tournament. My guy Bobby Sibley, after he got off from work, he was at work. He told me, he said, as soon as I get home, B.
He had the list.
Man,
for
he
you,
had the
huh?
list, man. Shout out to Bobby Sibley, man. My guy Bob, man. I appreciate that list, man. And I'm actually recording on my phone with the mic that my brother sent me, so I can't look at my phone right now. But we're gonna get the list of those names.
I'm going
of those
Rhode
kids.
Island.
Oh, he's going
I'm
Rhode
going with
Island.
the
He's going Louisiana
Louisiana
boys,
boys.
man. I like it, but I just either you gonna be right or I'm gonna be right. And I hope it's me,
We got Oregon, Iona.
Oh, I got
Oregon.
Oregon off top. And listen, Iona and Siena game the other night on
That
TV.
was good.
Thriller, man, overtime, man. Me and my little girl Brendan was watching that game late, and she fell asleep. And the next morning, first thing she said, "Who won that game, Dad?"
Michigan, Oklahoma State.
I'm going Michigan.
I'm
going
going
Michigan.
Oklahoma State on that one.
He's going Oklahoma State. I'm going with Michigan. I'm going with
Big 12 is a tough conference,
yeah,
and Big
yeah.
10 wasn't that strong this year.
Yeah.
I'm going with.
I could see that too.
Oklahoma State,
I could see
man.
that too. But we'll disagree on that one. Hopefully, I'll give you that one. If I can win the other one we just talked about, I'll give you that one.
So you're saying the money ones, you going Oklahoma
I'll
State?
go, yeah, you're right. Yeah. If it gets serious, man, we got to put dollars on the line. I might go Oklahoma State.
Louisville, Jacksonville State.
Going Louisville.
Louisville.
And somebody from Jacksonville State has a Louisiana guy
Yeah.
too from a meet. Spears, Ashton Spears.
Spears.
Shout out. You know why I know that name? Because Jay Smith knew that name. Jay Smith told me, hey, they got a guy from Jacksonville State plays from Jacksonville State from Louisiana plays for them. Ashton Spears.
North Carolina, we're going North Carolina.
Yeah,
All right,
going
Arkansas, Seton Hall.
You
Going
know,
Arkansas.
Louisiana, Louisiana guy.
Lakeview.
Lakeview, yeah.
What's his name?
Adrian. Adro or
Adro.
God, we're bad, man. We gotta get these guys' names. And I gotta give these shout outs, man. No doubt. Next, we'll have a list of everybody that played in the tournament this year for the next show for sure. But I'm going Seton Hall with that.
Oh, you going? I'm going Arkansas. Minnesota, Middle Tennessee.
I'm going Middle Tennessee, man. That's my
baby,
upset. That's
all day.
upset. Kermit Davis might be the next LSU coach, man. I have to call Kermit Davis, try to give me a job, man.
I'm going. All right, Butler. Winthrop.
Well, look, I'm my daddy's son, like the song say, man. I'm going Butler, man. He'd always pick Butler. He might even have Butler this year going to the Sweet 16, Elite 8. You always roll with Butler, man. So I'm going Butler in that game.
I'm going Winthrop.
Oh, you got all upsets, man. So you just like
Yeah,
you're like, oh, I picked that upset. You just gotta pick all upsets.
Why
I'm
not?
Like, all right, I got that. I
Act
picked
like
that.
I know it. Fake it to make it, baby. That's what March Madness is about.
That's what it's
man.
about, man.
All right, where we at? All right, Cincinnati, and then let's see if this game is.
Oh, Cincinnati, Jake Evans.
Yeah.
Evans from St. Michael's out of Baton Rouge just plays in
Quantis'
Cincinnati, man.
kid, man.
Yeah. Cincinnati, who they playing?
Cincinnati is playing the winner of Kansas.
Oh, yeah,
I
the
think
Kansas State, yeah.
Cincinnati's gonna win no matter what.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
going
Cincinnati's gonna win no matter what. Whoever they play, Kansas State or Wake Forest.
UCLA, Kent State. I'm going UCLA.
I'm going with
UCLA. I hope you're going. With UCLA.
I'm going with Big Baller Brand.
Yeah.
I'm going with
B-
Lonzo
3
Ball,
Bs,
man. I'm
man.
going with the Big Baller Brand, man. Worth $1 billion, man. Give him
Give
the
me that
shoe
shoe
deal.
deal.
Some people, they upset because Pops is running his mouth. I like it.
Right.
That's my son. If he was average or if he wasn't who he is, then you could say the guy's a clown. But the son is good. His
Right.
family's good. He taught them.
Everything.
Yeah.
But
Now,
I don't think the dude could have beat Michael Jordan.
well, listen though. Read the whole article.
There was just
Read the whole
I
article.
didn't. I just saw the.
If they met up in an alley or met up in the gym and they played one-on-one, Lonzo Ball's dad, and I don't know the guy's name, he really believes he could beat Michael Jordan.
Right.
He really believes, if you read the article, he says, I'll back him down and get him under the goal and I'll jump and put it in.
Right.
Okay, some people, it sounds good or whatever you talking shit, but he believes that.
Right.
And if it never happened or until it does happen, why is he not going to believe that?
Right.
You can bring up the stats that he scored 2 points a game at whatever school and college you went through, and I understand people don't like somebody running their mouth like that.
It's
but
different.
It's different, man.
It's
It's
so-
just
you
nobody's
can't
else done
get
that in the
off of it,
past.
yeah.
You didn't see LeBron James' mama running his mouth, Carmelo Anthony's mama running their mouth, how good their
It's a
son
new
was.
age, man. And you're gonna see more and more of that.
This is a shout out to him. He's a dad. He raised his boys.
Right.
He brought them up through their
Oh.
own AAU program.
Right.
Let him run his mouth. You think all the shout outs over the year, the Kevin Durant speech and all that, they all thinking their mamas. These
Well-
kids got their dad.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, so shout out to him,
Big
man. Shout
time.
out to him.
You're right about that. That's a good point, man. Dayton versus Wichita State, man. I'm going Wichita State. I think that Tennessee's a joke. I'm going Wichita State right there.
Yeah, I'm going Wichita State. That's a bad ranking. I'm going Wichita State. They definitely they're
30
experienced.
wins.
They're
and you
experienced in
give
the
them
NCAA. Didn't
and
they go to the Final Four, Elite
Yeah.
Eight, something last year, the year before? I'm going Wichita State.
And then we got Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky definitely gonna make a little run, man. You know, so we got our picks for the first round. You know, we'll touch base again going forward, man. I think this was a great show, man. As my phone battery's getting low, we're touching up on 120 minutes, man.
Cool.
We just hit them for 2 hours, man, on the
2
podcast,
hours.
man. We talking about 30 minutes, you know. And listen, we're gonna finish up. We're gonna wrap this up eventually, man. Episode 2. I might as well go ahead and say it, man. Episode 2, we're gonna bring on my brother-in-law,
Yes.
Bo Broadhead. And his best friend, Mackenzie Borg,
American Idol, The
American
Voice.
Idol, The Voice, who
He's
is
a big
huge,
basketball
yeah.
fan.
Yeah, huge sports fans in general, man. They're huge fans, huge basketball fans.
McKenzie has a
Yeah.
shot.
Mackenzie does have a 3-point shot. He
He
does.
can shoot it. I played with him at Reds a couple months ago.
You played him in a res, but I'm gonna trump that. I'm gonna be the topper, like the guy that always has a story that's better than the next story. You know, Mackenzie didn't play basketball with Justin Bieber at the Lakers arena. I
Right.
mean, famous people all the time. He lives out in L.A.
We need to get with him to get
I know.
that guest list.
I know. Get that guest list. Build that clientele up. Get that clout. We was talking about. Get the clout
baby.
visitor. You know.
Hey, look, we're gonna be posting this on our social medias. Make sure y'all like it, y'all share it. We're trying to get this out. We're trying to get it, get as many people that want to listen, man. That's it, dude. That went. So now I